is going to be okay too. Has his Purify. Brusco goes in with a conceal.
Oh, target might be Sanji, but instead went with Karl.TZ. AOG again paired up with a Glorious Pathway. The Spear of Destruction is not going to connect. That's why King Kong was able to pick off one. Next target might be Sanji there. It got caught off by Kirk. JP falls down. A double. And 3 will fall down for TLPH.
Brusco does it again. Smooth on the conceal and the kick. A slick kick by Brusco.
Yeah, I was commenting about that earlier, man. He's got one of the better records on the Cho, and he's able to find the right targets at the right moment. Again, just the pressure of him, you know, just being on the Cho is enough to keep a lot of teams kind of second guessing on exactly how they want to approach these fights. This turtle's now up. TLPH is going to get a position. They drop down the pathway.
Yeah, Karl.TZ doesn't have retribution, so they're going for the kills instead. Beautiful kick once again from Brusco to catch Karl.TZ. Sanji jumps in the picture. SOD again will miss, and this time, Kelra in the picture. Salmon Force drop down.
And it looks like TLPH needs to run away as ONIC Philippines know that the gold laner of TL missed the SOD. And they only lose Sanford. That could have been an absolute disaster. Yeah, way worse for Team Liquid.
Could have been way worse there, and it's, I don't know, man, every single time, I don't know what it is about these spears being thrown right now by OHEB, but sometimes it takes just that one at the crucial moment. Now, some of these team fights, again, yes, they're going in favor of ONIC Philippines. They're starting to build some of that lead, but ultimately, knowing TLPH, they'll still go ahead and get ready to fight for that first Lord. They still got a minute plus to go ahead and get what they need. They're not too far behind, but the problem is, again, if OHEB decides to just plan himself up, let's say he does miss the next Spear Destruction, then yeah, that's not going to be good, but a conceal's going to be used.
Whoa.
There's a diversion though. Spear of Destruction again will miss as Kirk working on Sanji. There's a Revitalize though. Kirk jumps in with the Infernal Pursuit. One more hit onto Sanji, but gets ganked off and collapsed on by TLPH. Kirk is going to fall down.
All right, good positional adjustment there by Team Liquid Philippines to make sure Sanji will be able to get away, and they end up winning the trade with Kirk going down. It means though that ONIC Philippines has stopped a major sequence for Team Liquid in the mid, and now they'll be able to clear up top and go back to the mid lane tower again to continue trying to defend it. 28 seconds before the Lord spawns. Still a very, very close game. No clear advantage in terms of the gold, in terms of the items. Right now, it's just who can press buttons better.
Yeah, that's what it's coming down to, the execution here for both the teams. TLPH will find another pickoff if they can, but that's what you got to watch out for on the other side. Brusco having the flicker available on the Chu. Could choose to do it even before they decide to take the Lord. Real quick, how's items looking?
All right, in terms of the two gold laners, neck and neck, already getting closer to Holy Crystal is Kelra. 2 core items for the Moskov. Well, diversion going to the mid. Are they going to get Sanford?
Okay.
No, they won't.
Yeah, they'll back off of it. But they're going to go ahead and get control of this Lord and perhaps even just take this one. Karl.TZ's got the information, but they're blitzing this.
Oh, they're blitzing it. Karl.TZ in the picture. But got Ogre entry there by King Kong. Now they want to go for it to punish. SOD finally connects, but Brusco with a beautiful kick onto Karl.TZ, but still gets taken down. Now they're going to steal away the purple buff, so Brusco for a Lord.
Hell of a punish there by Team Liquid, and yeah, the SOD that finally landed led to something good for TL, but ONIC did get the Lord, and they will lose their tower in mid. So it's a massive trade. It's the Lord, which ONIC will be able to push out with, but Team Liquid Philippines finally got the tower in the mid lane that they've been eyeing for the past few minutes now. Look at the items of the junglers, very close. Holy Crystal Magic Lantern already completed by Karl.TZ. The core items for Hayabusa locked in all the way up to Malefic Roar and War Axe as well. They are both very online.
Early engaged. Kirk has used the Infernal Pursuit because the Glorious Path they dropped down. Kelra again with 11-14 even flickers in. Trying to chase right now through OHEB.
Kelra still alive! King Kong is unstoppable! Kirk falls! Diversion, where is this going? It's just gonna be to advance their push even further. 3 down on the side of Liquid.
I can't believe OHEB even got away. Kelra used the flicker to try to catch him, but didn't. So they might be able to still defend this even with just the 2 of them. Shield's gonna pop, Lord's taken care of. Midway still pushing in. Here's ONIC Philippines in the base.
Brusco charging in with a G could do. It might be endable there. Purify there for Sanji to be able to clear out the minions, but they burst him down. Kelra, King Kong, and Super Prince has to back off because the minion spawn for TLPH. This might be an opening.
JP with the A! OG to take down the Monster Mage. Team Liquid have defended. ONIC have overstepped.
Oh, ONIC Philippines, they saw the finish line, but TLPH said, no, not yet.
It felt like I watched this last night.
Yeah.
Game 5, Team Falcons versus TLPH.
Hey, man, at this point, it feels like we've been here already for a week, right? But let's take a look at the replay here. This is what we're talking about. There's no way they make a play on Sanji, but it's good for OHEB. Like I said, think how important it was that he didn't die from when Kelro went, because if he did get him, that'd be game over.
Yeah, and Sanji was able to maximize the feathered airstrike because he pressed Purify just in time to cancel the cancel of Brusco onto the Farsa. So that meant that OHEB was still able to lock down onto the final siege minion so that they can push out. It still is a dire situation for the cavalry though, because we cannot deny ONIC Philippines are most definitely still in control. The big difference in gold is actually in the mid lane. Only up to a Blood Wings is the Farsa, but the Low Yi has 3 core items already locked in. The Enchanted Talisman, Glowing One, and his own Blood Wings as well.
And that's what's crazy about it, because Sanji, even despite being down in terms of gold against Super Prince, you're still seeing how much damage a feathered airstrike can do. And yeah, the right timing or key timing on that Purify is going to be crucial for him in avoiding Brusco even. So Lord is up once again. There's been a whole lot of action already just near that 13.5-minute mark for this one. We'll see if TLPH has an answer. You know, a lot of the team fights that have broken out have all been from ONIC Philippines deciding to go and make something happen. With one base turret down in the mid lane, TLPH will go and try to make an adjustment. They can manage the waves pretty easily though, because that is that mid wave turret down, but you can already see where ONIC Philippines is deciding to plant themselves here. They might go for some sneaky maneuvers.
Split push potential there for Brusco and Kelra, but I think
Yeah, they gotta join the fight.
yeah, they have to join the fight, because again, Brusco has been the main initiator for the side of ONIC Philippines, but the best part is for TLPH. They can punish whatever execution Brusco does right now because of the double revitalized setup and the glorious pathway and AOG that they have.
Right, look at the items. Dominance Ice, Athena's Shield for the high loss. Still on the way to the Dom Ice, but already has Radiant Armor and Athena's Shield, actually, for the Phovius of Kirk. This Stalwart's going to be important. They're sending a diversion up top, so that's a massive sure-up held there by ONIC.
Oh, TLPH bursting it down. Glorious pathway through the lane, but King Cole steals away the Lord.
And TLPH are just going to try to get consolation prizes, but they get Brusco. And ONIC Philippines are still running, but Team Liquid cannot continue the chase.
They lose Brusco. That's fine. They got the Lord. He's not going to be up for this push here, so it might be an opportunity for TLPH to clear out the Lord, stop the push from doing too much damage here.
Are they?
What are they going to do?
Are they going to try to hold it here at the center of the map? That's difficult against a Low Yi.
A little risky.
They're trying to do a high clear here. Turk goes in with a Dark Wave. Kelra, Zaman Force popped down already. OHEB able to free hit. Sanji already used up the feathered airstrike. No, but they burst down Sanford. Now Super Prince looking to execute OHEB there. Kirk, though, got taken down. Diversion. Where they're going to go, they might go back. King Kong with a shadow kill there. And 2 will fall down for TLPH.
He's back on the map. He's going to try and get Kelro. Can he burst him down? Baby! Cakes with a shutdown onto the Harris.
And one crucial spear of destruction changed everything. Super Prince almost got OHEB there, but Sanji with the save.
Oh, man. Earlier, last game, we saw the KK connection, even if it was a different variation, and now we're seeing the Baby Cakes duo make work here, staying in the game. We said this minutes ago. TLPH needed to buy time. Ren Marian, they have bought time.
Bro, I know what's going on in the Philippines, man. There's something in the water, and it sure as hell isn't fluoride.
The decision to go and high clear that Lord despite the ONIC having a Louis. And again, they have trouble locking down Kelra, so assuming that the Zaman forces drop down, you just can dance away. But still, OHEB was able to back off, and then right on time, as soon as Carl TZ jumps in, the SOD connects.
Oh, man. Again, they find themselves here at this point. Lord's still a ways away. A minute on the clock for that to come up. So ONIC Philippines, you know, you're starting to see them being like, all right, we're going to have to kind of adjust our game plan here with this. And this is where some of those important diversions can come into play. That's always something that they can pull out of the sleeves here with Super Prince. You're seeing how much damage there is in difference here between the two teams as well. And that's all been the story because TLPH has had to play catch up in terms of itemization. But now I feel like they're actually in that capability to fight. You know, the way that it's been playing here. Now that's something that ONIC Philippines has to consider even before this next Lord does come up. Right now too, you got tanky front line for TLPH to deal with, plus still the 2 Revitalize are going to be crucial in that next take. So right now, just kind of a face-off while the junglers go and get their buffs. They got to make sure they go ahead and play this right. They might also use OHEB, unless he decides to stick with the team here.
Okay.
Oh, it's just going to throw the spear.
It's healed.
It hit.
SOD connects onto
Okay.
Kelra.
There you
OHEB jumps
go.
in once again, but Brusco, what a beautiful team to do. Can't go onto the back with a weaky shadow kill. They're going to bring down Sanji!
TLPH are falling apart. ONIC Philippines have done it yet again. Wiped out are the cavalry.
In exchange for Kirk, ONIC Philippines again, just like what we witnessed in game number 1. A dominant win for the Sonics.
Bruce Goat. Just when Team Liquid Philippines pulled the trigger,
Salah ang
another slick kick and knock up
keputusan.
by Brusco.
Day number 1, it was all about Badangs, and now it's all about Chose for Brusco.
This is going to be a good one to break down here for Brigida and Leo. Guys, what do you have to say about game 2?
It feels exactly how game number 1 ended. A team fight that broke out, which
A
nearly
team
looked like
fight?
Team Liquid could have taken advantage of, but it was ONIC all along who knew how to win it in the long run.
It went from worse to bad. If we're talking about game 1 to game 2 progression, but yeah, no, I think
But,
Liquid
yeah.
felt it in them that maybe if we can catch ONIC off guard, we could end this. But just before that, Brigida will attest to this. I was watching and I literally this is an I told you so moment. It's like don't be impatient, wait for the right moment and fight when you feel it. But another key to Liquid actually coming back is to take down King Kong. King Kong did not let that happen.
Yep, and that's where the impatience came in. The entire, oh, we could go for it. They saw this. The Salmon Force, it was already burned, but they didn't take into account King Kong. They didn't take into account that there was a wall, that there was a kick, and that there was the vacuum that could come in from Super Friends. Everything. They weren't able to take account of that, and this guy didn't die, as you mentioned. They weren't able to find him.
Instead of serving up a point to Liquid, King Kong was giving out 808s and heartbreaks. Not a single death, 8 assists, 8 kills. He was on it. Again, a lot of people will say King Kong has his ups and downs.
Yep.
But this is just the metagame affecting how King Kong plays. And now, after 3 weeks of a break and what, a month and a half of the patch drop-in, he understands now. He knows where he can play. He knows the space in the metagame that he can move around and operate in. And the Hayabusa gives him such a great toolkit
Yep.
to do just that.
We saw how much he was able to maximize all of that, especially considering as it wasn't as perfect of an early game for TLPH2. We did mention a couple of times how why isn't the SOD connecting? And I feel like that affected their early game so much because it could have been way better. OEB was doing a great job managing the waves, but there was always a team fight happening on the other side, which if he could have just joined, things could have been different for Team Liquid Philippines.
But one might argue that if OHEB joined these fights, it's not a guaranteed win, especially when there is a Hayabusa always out on the hunt for you. And what happened was, King Kong went for the next best thing. He went for Sanji. Did not want to go for Kyle TZ because there was a moment in this game where Carl TZ was walking around top lane, bumped into a random Shinobi hiding in the bush, like King Kong said, major flinch. Right? So OHEB did what was best for business at the time.
Yep. And it was very difficult to see that even towards the late game where Team Liquid Philippines just decided to say, OHEB, let's not go for the split anymore. We did talk about this too, right? Like they were just doing that entire for Protect 1. They knew how badly they needed to protect OHEB, but even that didn't work anymore. Sanji had too much of a hard time.
Yeah.
This is something we mentioned too earlier that we didn't see in game number 1, you know?
Sanji died maybe 3 or 4 times too much, and he did what he could. Again, he was a threat magnet. He was doing everything in the early to mid that Liquid could not afford to do with Carl and OHIP. But again, we have to give our flowers to Liquid as well, despite losing this game here and one more away, one more loss from losing the series. Baby Capes came online very late though. Very late. Kyle TZ, he was doing what he could with a Joy, but look at this lineup from ONIC, right? You have a Cho that could... All right. ONIC, ask me, are they a frontline or a backline lineup?
Are they a frontline or are they a backline?
They're a frontline, backline lineup. That's what's so difficult is Sanji couldn't